Se deberían de haber como 15.
And the thing is, it's like it's not really dangerous or like you or I.
Desayunando. Ahora vas a venir desayunando.
But the elderly
So this is our limit to see the real jungle in Costa Rica. For me, this is considered forest, which is that's like a small forest in the middle in front of you. How can I tell this is secondary forest? Long time ago, people chopping down in front of you to build any farmer in Monteverde or in Costa Rica, right? And how old is this one in front of you? Over 50, 60 years old in front of you. And this is whatever in front of you. That's why it's considered primary forest in Costa Rica. And then from ahead of you, especially from that bridge or from another ones, try to see around. So how much it's visible inside? Not much. Reasons? This is the real jungle in Costa Rica. From the bottom, from that bridge to the ground, impossible to see it. How much dense is this forest than this one in front of you? Jungle and forest in Costa Rica. So, how much light in the ground over there? Over 70-75% light on the ground. Reason? New one, of course, right? So if you see ahead of you, and opposite. 75%, 80% stop on top of the trees. Reason? We're going to be a lot of moss, a lot of plants on top of the trees. Which is those plants and moss block away in the ground light. Many plants on the bottom, many plants on the trees ahead of you stop for completely growing up. If there's no light, there's no chance to grow up on top. This is happen into tropical or neotropical forest in Costa Rica. I mean, you guys are looking for probably seasons in Costa Rica. In Costa Rica, seasons, not really. If you can see over here, you guys expect to see dried Monteverde, not really. In Costa Rica, seasons, not really, because we are really close to equator. You guys are really far to equator. That's why you have seasons, right? And also, we are in one point geographically in position and around the world biodiversity. I mean, that's the reason why Costa Rica, it is biodiversity, or some points and around, right? And also Costa Rica, it's like one bridge. It's like this one. So if you see that bridge, we're gonna go from here to the other side. Means Costa Rica connect from North America to South America. And how old it's, you guys think it's Costa Rica? Costa Rica is really new. Over 2 to 3 million ago. So what about 5 million ago? Nothing in this way, just ocean. From North America and from South America to Costa Rica, many creatures, many things. Ones over here stay forever because we have interesting microclimates. From South America, we are gonna see creatures little by little from that point to Costa Rica. Reasons: reforestation. Reforestation means makes biodiversity more than more Costa Rica or in other points in Central America. One example: white-nosed coati, big nose, long tail. From which part it's possible to see that mammal? From Paraguay. From Paraguay to Colombia. From Colombia to Panama. From Panama to Costa Rica, and then Honduras until to Mexico, almost in North America. I mean, we are gonna see creatures in about 40 to 70 years in the future in Costa Rica from that point. Makes sense. If you are gonna visit Corcovado Park, which is what's the area basically double biodiversity than Costa Rica? Corcovado. Why is the reason? we are gonna be many things from that point to over here little by little. Right? Any questions before to start? Okay, this is also really small. We're gonna make 3 really small and then the best ones in front of you. About the weather, let me say, you guys are so happy to see Monteverde like this. I'm not really happy because this is supposed to be cloud forest. Where is the cloud forest? So if you see on the bottom, can you see the leaf? So dried. It's normal to see those leaves on the bottom, on the ground, basically soft and humidity. And also if you see moss, very dry, this is the worst part in Monteverde. So if you see trees in front of you, more than moss, less than less in front of you, less ecosystems on top on the trees. This is the worst part in Monteverde, which is cloud forest, and around the wall, only 1%. Rainforest everywhere, but cloud forests, not really. They are considered endangered and extinction. Right? Okay, vamos.
Also nur 1% ist Nebelwald und er ist traurig, weil es halt gerade trocken ist und nicht die Feuchtigkeit hat. Und
Really annoying.
And that big tree, and this is the avocado.
Avocado?
What's this one?
But that avocado tree, it's wild.
okay.
That avocado is like this big.
Okay. Not sweet.
In Monteverde, we are gonna see over 30, 34 different kind of avocados. But those are wild, which is the fruit like this big, and also about the meat, 10% seeds, almost 90%.
Okay.
There's no edible for humans.
Yeah.
So tastes like avocado, but not really edible for humans in front of you. And this is the ones very important right now in Monteverde. From some birds, especially 2, resplendent quetzal or 3 water bellbirds. They are just still in Monteverde, looking for that tree to eat. Once eat, they basically feed the chicks or babies that interesting food in front of you. Yeah. And how old you guys are thinking is that tree? So hard to tell, because in the trees there's no rims.
No rings.
No, because there's no seasons in Costa Rica.
Wow.
Let me show you ahead of you one tree cut. Check out if there's rims inside. Not really rims on the trees. So, if you see this one in front of you, what's that?
Flower.
Which one? Which one?
No say.
Kiss of the Queen? No.
Which one is a
Orchidea.
which one is a flower?
It's a orchidea now.
Inside a little white?
Uh-huh. What happened? I mean, why is the reason? What
Lips.
is look like lips, right? But which is the reason?
To close? To
No.
catch animals?
No. Can you see this one? See?
that the same?
Centropogon. Look different, but it's another. So that's the same purposes. What's the main pollinator in Monteverde? What's the main pollinator?
Hummingbirds?
Colibris, hummingbirds. Okay. So if you see this one, do you think bees get int? No.
No.
The bees can get into that.
No. So if you see the bees or any insect, there's no chance to get int. Just hummingbirds. Which is the hummingbird?
Oh, colibri.
Colibris. So if you get any flower in front of you to smell, nothing to smell. Which is the reason? Colors. So hummingbirds, they can see colors. Insects in Monteverde, not really. Why is the reason? Altitude. We are about 1,300, 700, 900 meters on top. Okay, from your countries, right? Which is the main pollinators? Bees, right?
Yeah.
Okay, which is those flowers are opened. So when those are open, expel scents to attract bees. In Monteverde, bees or insects, not really. We don't have mosquitoes in Monteverde. we don't need bug spray. Believe me, we don't need bug spray in Monteverde.
Because there's nothing to eat for them to
No.
eat here.
Insects, they are cold-blooded. Cold-blooded
Cold-blooded.
means they need heat to come out in front of
That's
you.
why they all die in the
Okay, and
winter.
there's no heat.
Over here, there's not really heat. So the main pollinators in Monteverde, hummingbird. Okay, those three flowers are the real ones. What's this? To attract hummingbirds.
Red.
Red, yellow, pink, orange, attraction. When we are gonna see hummingbirds, so we are gonna see hummingbirds at the very end. We're gonna see the nice hummingbird feeders. Those feeders, they're red and yellow to attract them. So one hummingbird visit for a day, 2,500 flowers for a day.
Wow.
So that's the
Busy.
main pollinators in Monteverde. I mean, the pollination in Costa Rica or in Monteverde never stop for completely. It's like this. So plants and trees never stop to make it rhymes. They're just keeping growing. Reproduction mammal, reproduction birds continues. Why is the reason? There's not seasons in Costa Rica. Like yesterday. Remember when we were talking about that thrush? From North America to Costa Rica. That bird makes biodiversity Costa Rica. How? Get a lot of fruits and then disperse those fruits in Costa Rica or in Monteverde. That's one of the reasons why we have more than 3,000 different kind of trees in front of you. In Monteverde, plants over 5,000 to 7,000 kind of different plants in front of you. A little bit longer than the first one. Yeah, me too. So, look at that tree.
Yeah. No thanks.
Not rims on the trees. From this jungle, hard to tell. Hard to tell how old are those ones in front of you. Supposed to be over here maximum life from trees 400, 300, 700 years old. Which is the roots in the ground in front of you are really, really shallow. So if you see every day leaf on the ground. Leaf on the ground, leaf on the ground, leaf on the ground. The material compost soil like this thick. Which is the roots like this. Shallow. From Caribbean, you see this is Caribbean. A lot of storms. Last year in Monteverde or in Costa Rica from Caribbean inside, 58. Which is from this way. So when it's windy, when it's cloudy, when it's foggy, okay, or rains a lot, in the ground soft. Trees on top, full moss, full plants, which is the wind doing this. Blow on the trees and then fall over. So one fall over, one really big, push one, push two, push 3, 4, 5, and then make a space. New area to become new plants and new trees. I mean, this is basically natural in front of you. Ahead of you, we're gonna see a huge tree, which is fall over 25 days ago. Okay, and that is used to be hollow inside. Hollow because we got big insects that we call beetles. They just laying eggs into the trees. Those caterpillars get in and then start to inside. One start to eat inside, kill the tree from outside to outside. Roots in the ground, less strong, and then fall over. From those big ones trees, basically hollow, we can see bats. I got 1 point to see bats. So in Monteverde, to see bats outside, not really. If we were seeing bats in Costa Rica from your trips, you can see them outside, clear. Why? The reason, temperatures. From low lamps in Costa Rica, what's the temperature? Very hot and warmer. And we are gonna see them really like spread it out outside. But in Monteverde, we are gonna see them into the holes together. Why is the reason? To try to keep warm up inside. Otherwise, there's no chance to survive in front of you, right? Hummingbird nest.
Oh, right.
So be careful.
Shiny?
It's shiny or fairy, so be careful. Those, I mean, they don't hurt this point. They don't hurt. And that's the two top
Schatz, da unten ist es ganz
two
groß.
top sloth.
He moved. Can you make a picture? I see your
From 8 to 16 hours sleeping.
Yeah.
Between those 2 hours, 10 minutes, really wake up.
For 10 minutes.
Yes, to feed. Just to feed. Just to feed.
Perfect life.
And the reason is
Five
this.
stomachs.
Four.
Four stomachs.
4 stomachs.
Yeah,
Four.
like a cow.
Hard to digest
there.
those
I'll
type
try
of
to
leaf
video
in
it.
front of you. Which is those leaf in front of you, alkaloids. So hard to digest. That's the reason that leaf from one stomach, second stomach, this stomach, and fourth before to defecate. So it takes long time to do. That's the reason that they used to be sleeping.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Ja.
Okay.
Spider.
Oh my gosh.
Don't move. Don't move, please. Behind me, don't move. This has happened.
Wow, my God. Can I give you my phone to a...
Quick.
Oh my God. Thank you. You're amazing.
Ready?
Ready?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's okay.
How did you know that you would see it? What
Yeah.
You see, 14 days ago,
In this
we were walking around here, and I check in, and I learned this is the idea, and I learned what's the point to see them.
Okay.
And I saw some holes, right? If those holes are really full of leaf and plants,
Yeah.
so there's nothing. If that entrance it's really
clean.
clean, that's something in front of you.
What's the name of this spider?
Orange knee tarantula.
Tarantula.
It's the biggest one in
De Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, and also endemic to Costa Rica and Panama.
It's poison.
Yes.
Maybe like
Not really. It's poison, but it doesn't hurt people. Kill people, not really.
okay,
Just reactions.
okay,
Reactions.
yeah,
If some of you are really allergic, so we are in trouble.
okay.
But of course, you don't wanna try to touch it, right?
No, no,
because
never ever.
It's big, right?
Never ever.
Because the fans are like this big.
Wow.
Like this big, they eat mouse, small snakes or insects.
Do they kill them first?
Yes, paralyze them. I mean, we can see these ones usually almost out at night, waiting like one catcher.
Yeah.
So they are almost blind. If you saw
Only
once
for the-
again, your pictures, look at the body, very furry,
Yeah.
to feel vibrations.
Vibrations.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
And she is female, which is female. So yes, in the holes, males outside, solitary.
Also Weibchen.
Yes, predators, white-nosed coati, big nose, long tail, and there's a wasp like this big behind them to paralyze, and then parasite, and then laying egg, one egg in her abdomen, and there's a caterpillar, and the caterpillar start to eat the tarantula, but the tarantula is still alive.
Yeah, it's still alive.
This is the idea.
She's not dying.
No, the idea is to eat alive, just alive.
And
Not
she
in.
eventually kill her?
Of course, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Like aliens versus predators. It's something like that. It's something like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Those spots are mine. Nobody knows.
Okay, we won't tell.
No, please. Thank you.
It's a secret. There's nothing.
Look, the ones that we export to North America or Europe, modified genetic orchids. Which is this ones, if you see that ones, about 4 colors into the petals. The real orchids, only 2 colors or 1 color. Like that micro in front of you, over here.
We don't spend any money at home, we just try to what is eating.
Insects.
Yeah.
But those insects, basically beetles,
All right.
those beetles, which is the last full cycle, that's the last one, they must eat from inside to outside.
Okay.
Caterpillars, of course, caterpillar, egg, caterpillars, they just to eat from outside to inside. If those are really leaf cutters,
Yeah.
leaf
I
cutter
know leaf
M's,
cutter, Yeah.
they just start
Yeah.
from outside
Yeah.
to inside. That is one specific beetle that they must eat from inside to outside. Like some soft points into this leaf in front of you.
Sorry, excuse.
Because in here it's going down through there.